So as a captain in the Green Beret, now a colonel in the reserves, making hard, tough decisions in the military, defending our liberty, our justice, and our way of life, that to me is a natural for public office. And that's what Colby is. My name is Keith Stansell, and on February 13th, 2003, I was captured in Colombia by Marxist narco-terrorist guerrillas known as the FARC. That would begin a 5.5-year, 1,967 days of captivity. We were an airborne counter-narcotics platform, so we were just there to search and find the bad guys and then report it back. That morning there were 5 of us on the aircraft. When our engine shut down, there were a group of guerrillas, fighters, on top of a mountain ridge, and they were just shooting at aircraft like ours coming across, trying to target us as we went into fuel. The next thing I know, we crashed. We were in bad shape. Aircraft was torn apart, we were in bad shape. And I looked down below us, probably 70 to 80 guerrilla fighters that were shooting up the hill at us. Next thing I knew, I looked up and there was a couple guys with AK-47s in our faces. The guerrillas separated us and they took Tommy, the pilot in command, and Sergeant Cruz to one side of a hill, and they took the 3 of us, Mark, Tom, and I, to the other side and brought us down. And we wouldn't learn until months later that they had been executed. We didn't know if we were going to be executed. We didn't know if it was a week or two, if it was a month, a year. We had no idea. Never did we imagine that it would be 1,967 days. It's hard for me to condense into words what 5.5 years of deprivation on a human scale is like, whether it was years in chains, malaria, starvation, no medical care, death marches. It's a hard thing to put into words. If it wasn't for the efforts of our SOF forces in the U.S., Special Operations Forces, we'd either be dead or still be in the jungle as captives. We heard openly the Colombian government admit that U.S. Special Forces were on the ground looking for us. If you look at a guy like Colby, he's looking for us. Obviously married with kids, he's putting his life on the line to do his job to rescue Americans. When I met Colby after captivity, I was humbled. They're the quiet doers, right? Our special operations guys are not out there looking for accolades. They're out there putting themselves at risk, trying to protect our country. So first I was humbled and thankful. I just gave him a hug, right? I've spent, after captivity, a lot of time in DC, and you see people there that once they get there, change, and they cave to the system and they cave to the swamp. I don't worry about Colby. I would just tell the citizens of this great state of Utah, you need leadership like Colby Jenkins. He sacrificed a life. It's a life of service, a life of family. Just look at his actions. You don't have to listen to him, look at his actions. Utah needs that type of leadership. Utah needs Colby Jenkins in Congress.
Green Beret PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.